This is Sheela Bansode from Walchand Institute of Technology, Solapur. Today we are going to see the topic Introduction to Flexible Manufacturing System, that is shortly called as FMS. The learning outcomes for this video: students will be able to define flexible manufacturing system and they will be able to classify various types of FMS and layouts in FMS. Moving further, as we all know, today the customer demands are increasing day by day. The production quality should be high with minimum cost. The time duration should be less. All these factors need to be considered to have a successful product into the market. Plus, sustainability comes into picture. To counter all these things, we need to move on for automation of the manufacturing processes. FMS is a part of automation that is being done in manufacturing industries. So we can say that a flexible manufacturing system is an arrangement of machines interconnected by a transport system. When we have n number of machines being in operation for a particular manufacturing unit, they are interconnected through some of the computing systems, and the transfer of jobs or workpieces from one workstation to another is done automatically. Each and every machine gives its signal of completion or of any kind of breakdown so that the production does not get hampered. The transfer carrier work to the machines or pallets or other interface units so that work machine registration is accurately done, is rapid and automatic. So as far as transportation of jobs or workpiece is concerned, manual interventions is reduced to a greater extent. A central computer controls both the machines as well as the transport system. Now, when we are talking about transport system can be a conveyor or an automated guided vehicle, shortly called as AGV, or in some cases it might be robotic arms. Now, FMS is also called flexible because that it is capable of processing a variety of different parts, styles simultaneously at the workstation, and quantities of production can be adjusted in response to changing demand patterns. Instead of being stick to a certain type or pattern or number of jobs that are being done, whenever the demand increases, the production can be increased. Whenever there is a small change in some of the parameters of the particular product or the job being done, those can be easily accompanied or can be easily adjusted when we are going for or when we are using flexible manufacturing system. Now, as far as FMS is concerned, let us see this diagram. Here you have standalone NC machines. Here we have transfer lines, and in between this stands the flexible manufacturing system. So it is a mid-value production range. Moving further, so various components of a particular flexible manufacturing systems are, as you see on screen. The first is workstation. Second, we have material handling and storage systems. Then we have computer control systems and human resource labor. We'll see a layout. This is the very typical layout where you can see the transportation system, that is the conveyor. Here you can see the machines where actual operation on the jobs will be carried out. Here you can see a robotic arm to lift the job from the conveyor and place it on the machine, a required machine. Near to each machine you will find a robotic arm. Here is the loading and unloading station. Here you have the inspection or quality checks, and here you have the assembly. This symbol represents the labor or human resource, and others you can see are machines. So a beautiful combination of machines along with human interventions that is totally centrally controlled is your FMS system. We'll see each and every component in detail. First is workstation. Typically, computer numerical control machine tools that perform machining operations on families of parts. The various workstations are, we can say, machining centers, load and unload stations, assembly workstations, inspection stations, forging stations, and sheet metal processing stations. So where we do certain kind of operations on the job are called as workstations. This constitutes one of the basic components of your FMS system. Let us see second component. So second component is the automated material handling and storage system, also called as automatic storage and retrieval system. So the various automated material handling systems that are used to transport work parts and sub-assembly parts between the processing stations, sometimes incorporating storage into function. The various functions of automated material handling and storage systems are random and independent movement of work parts between workstations, transportation of job from one machine to another after completion of operation on first machine moving on to the second machine, or after completion of all the processes keeping the finished product to the storage system, or taking of the raw material from the storage system and supplying it to the machines. Further, handling of a variety of work parts configuration. So different configuration of work parts can be handled. This is a temporary storage until and unless the process gets completed. Convenient access for loading and unloading of work parts. Compatible with computer control. So a central, as we discussed, a central computer is required to control all the movement of a job right from start to the end. Next, we have computer control system. It is used to coordinate the activities of processing stations and the material handling systems in the FMS. So as far as the material handling or workstations are concerned, the total control is done by a central control system. Now the various functions that are carried out are control of each and every workstation. Each and every machine is being controlled centrally. Distribution of control instructions to workstations. Production control, what rate, how much time, everything is controlled. Traffic control is the sense of traffic of jobs. Shuttle control, that is conveyor control or AGV control. Then work handling systems and monitoring. Each and every process, movement of the job is done with the help of computer control system. Then system performance monitoring and reporting is also done with the help of central computer systems or monitoring systems. Now what are the types of FMS? The first is sequential FMS. In this, it is a manufactures one piece of part, batch type, and then planning and preparation is carried out for the next piece part, batch type, to be manufactured. It operates like a small batch flexible transfer line. So first a job is started and whole batch of that particular job or design is completed, and then it undertakes the second job. Random flexible, it manufactures any random mix of pieces parts at any one time. So any time you can change the job from one to another, or the design of job can be changed. Dedicated is, it goes on doing a similar number of parts of same design for a particular period of time. Then engineered is doing or carrying out a mixed or a single part for its lifetime. Then modular, we can change any time between sequential, random and dedicated or engineered system with the help of modular system. This is much more flexible as being compared to sequential, random, dedicated or engineered. Types of FMS layout. The first type that you can see on screen is a progressive one or a line type one. it is most appropriate for a system in which the part progress from one workstation to the next in a well-defined sequence with no backflow. Here, the job starts from one machine, moves on to second, then third, and at the end at the unloading station, right? Either from this side or from this side. There is no reverse flow of the job in this type of FMS system. Moving on to second. Here it is a loop part where the job moves from one machine to another. It has a closed loop from loading to unloading stations. There is no open loop over here. So the parts usually move in one direction around the loop with the capability to stop and be transferred to any stations. Then ladder type. Here the movement of job, here loading and unloading stations are on the same type or on the same side. Here movement of jobs is in the form of ladder. It may start from this, move on to this, then to this, then this, and then it will move to the unloading station. So the movement of job is in the form of ladder. Then we have open field. This is the much more flexible system where you can see each and every component over here. You can see AGV, you can see storage and retrieval systems, you can see the machines, you can see robotic arms. So here you can move the job from any one machine to another. Here also substations can also be included. So from machine to substation can be moved, from substation to machine can be moved. The sequence can be changed as and when required. Then robot centered. Here a central robot is used to transfer the jobs from one machine to another. Now the factors that are influencing or that influence FMS layouts are availability of raw material and proximity to the market. Then transport facilities, availability of efficient and cheap labor, low cost labor, availability of power, water and fuel, atmospheric and climatic conditions, business and economic conditions. Objectives of FMS. The first is to improve operational control through the reduction of number of uncontrollable variables, to reduce direct labor, then to improve short run responsive consisting of change in design or some other parameters, then to improve long run accommodating through call it quicker, that is changing product values and so on. Advantages of FMS is faster changes, low cost, you have lower direct labor, then reduced inventory, consistent and better quality, lower cost per unit of output, savings. Then here you have a case study. This is the ASRS, that automatic storage and retrieval system. Here we have a CNC machine, here we have a CNC mill machine. This is the conveyor. This is the control system for controlling the whole system. This is the control system for controlling the robotic arm over here. So this is one of the typical arrangement where you see a conveyor belt for transferring of the job from the ASRS to first machine to second machine. Now loading of or unloading of the job on the first machine is done with this robotic arm, and loading or unloading of the job from conveyor to the machine is done with this robotic arm. These are the references. Thank you.